Good morning, Flagler County. This is Danielle Anderson, your host of Lifeline, the radio show connecting you to positivity in our community. And we have ladies in the studio that are doing some positive stuff with things that we normally don't associate positivity with. Taxes. So good morning. We have Sherry and Rita. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, Sherry, I know I kind of roped you into this. We met at a Flagler Volunteer Services giving store Christmas and July breakfast.
Yes, we did.
You know, and he said, hey, I do taxes, and I thought that was so interesting. So tell us a little bit about how you got involved with Flagler Volunteer Services.
Well, Flagler Volunteer Services, when I became the district coordinator, they were a group where I felt we could solicit new volunteers for our tax aid program. Tax aid is a program of the AARP Foundation. We're not political and have no affiliations. We're the largest program that they sponsor nationwide. In our county, we have 60 volunteers, and we're always looking for more because we have 6 sites throughout the county. And during tax season, we have a site open pretty much Monday through Saturday throughout the county. So we are totally volunteer, and we do not charge anything for the tax returns that we prepare. We really are focused on providing the service to the most neediest people in our county, whether they be seniors or families with children or small businesses that are single person just getting going and need some tax help.
So do those folks have to qualify to get the services, or just can anyone walk in?
Absolutely not. You don't have to be a member of AARP to get the services. You don't even have to live in Flagler County, okay? Because other counties get full, and then we'll take people from Ormond Beach and near Palatka, things like that, where they don't have as many sites or the availability for people. We even have people who come down and may have a home in another state, and as long as it's only federal taxes, we can do their taxes. So we do have snowbirds who come and do that.
That's what I was thinking. Like the people from up north, they're still here in that time frame.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about how did you get into this? Was this your career?
No, actually, I was the director of a not-for-profit agency for people with disabilities. And one of the programs I ran were employment services for people with disabilities. So they're going out in the community working, getting a paycheck. Well, they're paying taxes, too. And AARP up in New York would come into my agency for a few days in our conference room and do the taxes for these people with disabilities.
Wow.
And just treating them as a normal person who's working, you know. And they ended up being able to file their taxes in a very wonderful manner. And a lot of them got the refunds because they have earned income tax credits, and most of them were not working full-time, so they were eligible for that. And I said, well, when I retire, this is what I want to do.
That's really cool.
You know. And so I started actually during COVID, so it was self-study. But the first person I met was Rita.
Did you really?
And we've been friends since then, basically, you know. And it's just grown from there. And I have strong management skills, so I was asked to run the district because our district coordinator is now a state coordinator.
So where does your district encompass?
Basically, it's all of Flagler County.
Okay.
Okay, a little bit of Ormond Beach that's considered Flagler County. We have all those zip codes. But as I said, we have other people coming up from like Ormond Beach and some other areas. We're very small, but we're strong.
I see that. But it was interesting. I was at a United Way luncheon or breakfast the other morning, and they shared they have a similar program.
They have VITA, yes.
And they had gotten $1.7 million in refunds last year. And it was like, who knew that they were able to do so much? Do you guys have that same kind of results?
Very similar. I think the number is probably the same. We had 3,200 people that we served.
Wow.
And we got, what was the number?
2722.
2.7 million, actually.
That is awesome.
I think that's it, yeah. 2.7 million.
Rita, how did you get into this? Because you were already there when she came along, right?
Yeah, answered an ad in the Penny Saver. And so I offered to volunteer doing phone services, like calls. And the woman who was running the program at the time, Margaret Campbell, said, do you do taxes? And I said, sure, for the family, but I don't know taxes. And she goes, we'll train you. And I said, well, I'll give it a try. And they trained me. Wow. I took the test. We have to certify each year. And, I'm doing taxes now.
So what year did you start doing it?
I started 11 or 12. I'm not exactly sure.
So you've been doing it for quite some time.
Yeah.
So what do you, when you've seen it over the years like that, what are the requests for? I mean, is it a particular demographic from our community, or is it just a mix of everybody?
It's a mix of everyone. It really is. We draw everybody in, and we don't turn anybody away. So if their income is high, we will even work with them. But we might say something like, oh, you might want to go to a pay preparer next year, consider that. Maybe it might be beneficial for you.
Right.
But because we are limited to what we can do. We do have a scope. But the limitations are few. So we do help a lot of people.
So where are some of the sites that people would come, or even how would they get started in the process?
Well, the easiest way is we do have a website. It's taxprepfree.net, and it's a very dynamic website. And so you could go right on and register, schedule yourself an appointment online. Although it's not open yet until January of 2026.
Okay.
There's a lot of information on the website. There are the types of tax returns that we can do, and there's a few that we cannot do. We are given a scope of work by the IRS, okay, and so they're only allowing us to do most common tax returns. If you have anything really unusual, we probably won't be able to do your tax return.
So, like, what I might consider unusual and what they would consider unusual might be different. So what would be some examples of the ones that you cannot do?
If you have a rental property,
okay,
we're not allowed to do that. It involves depreciation. Solar energy, because it's a benefit that apparently has multi-year things.
And that's good to know because a lot of people around here do have solar and they do have rental properties.
Yeah.
Anything else?
There are a few things that if you're a very high income person, generate certain forms and taxes, and in addition to that, those are not excluded. They're out of scope for us. Okay. So, and businesses, self-employment. We can do individual self-employment. You can't have an inventory or any employees. Okay. And,
so like sole proprietor kind of thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And if you have the Affordable Care Act insurance for self-employment, we can't do that one because it's a cyclical formula, apparently. We do the Affordable Care Act insurance for anyone, everyone else. And that's very important that you bring that form with you, because if you don't have that form and we don't put it in, it's an automatic rejection. And then we have to follow up with you and keep calling you saying, I need that form, the one you got from the IRS,
Yeah, and those are not the guys you want to keep getting notices from.
Yeah. No, we need that form. And then
we also need people to bring in any letters, any correspondence that they get from the IRS. Well, now suddenly people are getting PINs, identity protection numbers from the IRS issued each year, and we need you to bring in those letters. But if you don't have it, we guide you through getting that PIN.
Nice.
But unfortunately, you do reject. We file the taxes that day. When you come in, your tax return is filed, and we know whether it's accepted or rejected by that evening.
So, do you feel like this helps make it easier for people? Or because, now it's like it's free to do it through the IRS, right? Mm-hmm. So, is it easier to try to do it yourself, or is it, do you think it's beneficial to come in and see you guys? I mean, do you sit down and talk with folks about things that might be challenging or any issues that they're concerned about?
Oh, I absolutely. I think it's better to come and see us because we can give. We're trained to ask questions. We go through a whole intake interview. There's a whole intake form asking questions about the things that you need, and you might not know that there's a refund on something or another, or if you enter wrong, you might not be eligible for it, like for earned income tax credit or if child tax credits, educational credits. There's educational credits, and there's energy credits. There's a lot of things that we can hopefully get you a better refund or a refund or pay less or not have it rejected and then not getting letters from the IRS that you didn't pay enough and then you owe interest on that. And that interest adds up because you're not going to get that letter for months. And if you don't file your tax return electronically now, it's going to be months before it's processed. Okay. When you file your tax return now and it goes in electronically and you're slated to get a refund, pretty much get it within a week or two directly deposited into your bank account. If you send a paper return in, it's months to get the refund. So you guys are actually doing the electronic forms for them. It's not like they come back in and they have to sign something and then mail it off and all that. It's signed, sealed, delivered, and done. One and done. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. And it's free. And it's free. And we only schedule appointments, so you don't have to necessarily come, wait in line all day. But when you come, it will depend on the flow of the site and how complicated the returns are. So if you do come, leave yourself at least 2 to 3 hours. It may take a lot less, okay? But if you schedule a doctor's appointment for an hour later, you're not going to be able to make it. Well, that makes sense, because you're going through the questions and working with them, right? Mm-hmm. So it takes time to go through, have them fill the intake form out, go through the intake, and then after that, we're going to do the return with them. We have another check, which is where there's a quality review check. So we have another counselor check the work that counselor did, and then meet with the taxpayer again, review all of it with them to make sure it's accurate, okay? And then we have them sign the permission to electronically file it. So this is all happening the same day at the appointment? Yes. Because I was under the impression, like, you drop your things off, you come back in a couple of weeks, and it's all done, and they give you your stuff. It's like that day. Yeah, we have to file them that day or within 24 hours, okay? So it's all done that day. There are options, okay? A couple of the sites, we do use a drop-off model. So you could drop off your tax return if you've arranged for it ahead of time. Okay. You still have to fill out the forms, meet with the counselors, let them go through the intake form, your tax forms, make sure everything's there, sign a form you're leaving your documents. But then generally you'll come back the next tax day, so it could be either a later day in that week or a week later. That's really cool. Well, all right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about how you can get involved if you're interested in being a preparer. We'll be right back.
Be local, buy local from local companies and members of the Flagler Home Builders Association.
Hi, folks. This is Bill Gallagher with SolarFit. Just a note to the wise, beware of unlicensed contractors knocking on your door. SolarFit has been installing solar systems in our community since 1975. We won't knock on your door, so give us a call at 445-7606, 445-7606.
The Flagler Home Builders Association, building a better community for you.
Thank you so much for recommending us to your family and friends. When you need a 30, 60, or 90-minute massage, it's real easy to book your appointment online. MassageByNatalie.org. MassageByNatalie.org.
Don't even think about climbing that ladder.
We got a guy that'll do it for you.
If you're going to do it right with Benjamin Moore.
We've got the professional painters and the best paint.
Benjamin Moore, corner of Old Kings and Utility Drive.
Palm Coast.
All right, we're back with Sherry and Rita, making taxes easy in Flagler County. So are there any things that are happening like right now this quarter that people should be aware of or they should be preparing before the end of the year?
Well, in order to expand, we need new volunteers. And we need volunteers in all manners, okay, all different jobs that we have. Obviously, being a tax preparer is most important. And I don't want to say most important. We need them in order to do your taxes. Because all the roles are very important.
Yes.
And what we do is do the recruitment now for tax preparers and the greeters, the client facilitators, the person who greets you on the site, gives you your forms, answers questions, makes sure the site's flowing well. That's a very important job. And then we have a whole phone crew that Rita oversees to do the scheduling.
I knew you were the boss. She came in, she said, I'm not going to talk much. I'm just going to, I was like, no. I have a feeling you're more important than you're saying.
She is. She's vital.
Well, answering that phone, I mean, and that's important too, is people would like to talk to somebody when they're stressed out about their taxes. When you get a push this button, it will get back to you. It could be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had the streamline appointments for online with our website, which is awesome. But then we also have the phone line that we monitor year-round. So if anybody has any problems, I'll give them a call back, even in the off-season.
Oh, wow.
We take care of things.
Yeah. The way the phone line works, though, is you will need to leave a message.
Okay.
It's not physically manned. And then Rita schedules her volunteers to take phone calls pretty much the whole time, most days, morning or afternoon, take the phone calls off and call them back.
But you will actually get to speak to a real human.
Yes.
Yeah, without pushing any buttons.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, customer service, it still exists. So, for people who are listening, what would be like the ideal prepare or even volunteer for the phone lines?
Well, for the phone lines and for client facilitator, you basically need to be personable, be patient, have good communication skills, and for the phone lines, a little bit of ability to use a computer, because the phone people take what you're asking them, and then they do the computer to schedule it online. Okay. So I think that's.
Now, are they answering questions where they would need specific training, or is that something they would come see a counselor for?
Yeah, they pass it on to me, and I'll either call the person back myself or, whatever the question is, if it's something that's out of my league, I'll pass it on to Sherry or to someone else. But, people are great. I mean, we provide the service because we think that a lot of people aren't computer savvy, but a lot of them are and just would prefer to talk to somebody. So,
well, taxes can be scary. You're never sure if you're doing it right when you're doing it yourself.
And that's
absolutely
that's the blessing about this, because we have two people that actually look at your return and go over it with you to make sure that you think it's right. So.
And then, so talk about preparers. Who would be an ideal candidate for you?
You don't have to have a financial background or work in the financial field or have done taxes for your whole life, okay? As I said, I worked for a not-for-profit. I did contracts and a lot of Excel work, We have other people who have been teachers. We have some who...
or mail carriers.
Mail carriers, yeah. Mail carriers. You need to be a little bit detail oriented, so that be able to work with numbers. Be familiar with the computer. Have some computer skills. The best candidates. Almost everyone that we have as a tax preparer have done their own taxes. And now they do them on software and stuff like that, so they're used to that.
So it's more plug and play, just knowing where the numbers kind of fit.
Yeah.
Knowing how to research. You don't know everything. You can't possibly learn everything. And you need to go, no, here's the resource. This we call it the Bible, the 4012. It's an IRS publication that TaxAid amends a little bit. And where to find it, how to do it, how to look it up, how to search, things like, that kind of thing. Because it's a resource to tell you, yes, this is how you do it.
And so, you guys, you do how long is the training to become a preparer?
The first year, it's in person, and it's pretty intense. It's 7 days. The first couple of days orientation and using the computer and the software. Tax law training is for 5 days, okay? And then during that time, you will have completed the IRS certification at the advanced level.
Oh, okay.
And you will have started on workbook problems, which are actual tax returns that are guidance. And you have a mentor. You're not going to go through this without a mentor.
And my heart is starting to beat just thinking about this. I'm like...
And then, when you first go to the site, you get assigned to an experienced tax preparer to be your mentor for that time, especially the first couple of days. So you're not thrown to the wolves.
Right.
Okay. You're not thrown to the wolves. So
that's pretty cool. And then after that, do you have a lot of people that come back and do it year after year?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They love it.
We have very little turnover. People move away. If it's the right fit, it's the right fit. We're like I feel like we're like a family, or we're all friends, and we know each other. I mean, I met Rita through this, and Rita's husband and mine go out to dinner all the time. And I during the year, the ladies of Tax Aid, I have get-togethers at some of the local pubs and bars.
How fun is that?
And everyone's chatting away. I mean, the last one was September. I think we had 20 people.
Yeah.
Just can't wait to see each other again.
So, yeah.
You're the only people that actually look forward to tax season.
Well, the big
I'm just kidding.
Most of us do it also because it keeps us, sharp.
Yeah.
Your mind, you're using your mind, and you're giving back and doing good, Now, and you're making friends.
And how many appointments can you schedule per season? There's got to be a limit.
There's a limit only by the size of the sites and how many volunteers we have. Wouldn't you say?
So actually, I'm always telling people to schedule early when we open in mid-January.
Okay.
I said schedule in advance. If you think you're not going to have documents until April, schedule April,
Yeah.
But we run out of appointments, I would say, in April, where we're limited, but we're still trying to get people in,
Last year we had a small waiting list, and we scheduled an extra day, and it was like a superpower day. Yeah. We got all our experienced preparers in, and we just kind of did the whole day, and we banged out quite a few.
That's amazing. So how many do you think you'd maybe do per season?
Well, we saw 3,200 taxpayers last year.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think we did...
with 60 volunteers.
With 60 volunteers, and we did, I think, over 3,000 returns. Sometimes we turn people away, or they don't have their documents, or people come in just to ask some questions even,
That's still a tremendous number of people to see.
Yeah. The 6 sites I don't think we've mentioned, actually, and I believe we all have all of them, and we can't pay anything for the space. Okay, we're not-for-profit. We can't pay anything for the space. So all of our partners are very generous with us.
And where are the sites?
Well, we have the Flagler County Library on Palm Coast Parkway, the First Baptist Church of Palm Coast, which is at the end of Palm Coast Parkway.
And that's the new one?
No, that's not the new one.
Is that Pastor Kevin?
That's Pastor Kevin.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. The new one we had is actually the Bridges, a United Methodist Fellowship down in Bunnell.
They're amazing.
They are amazing.
Amazing.
I loved subbing there because they provide coffee and snacks. They're so welcoming. That's on Saturdays. Okay. The Government Services Building, which is Tuesdays and Wednesdays. The library is Thursdays. First Baptist Church, we don't know what days this year.
Okay.
So we'll have to keep posted on that one.
Sure.
Then my site actually down at Flagler Beach United Methodist Church.
Nice.
That's Tuesdays and Fridays, and I love that site. I live the north end of Palm Coast. I still drive down to Flagler Beach. And the Palm Coast Aquatic Center, which is behind Buddy Taylor and Wadsworth Elementary, off of Belterre, Parkview.
Used to be Frida Zamba Pool.
Frida, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they have a site there, too?
Mm-hmm.
That's really...
And
And that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
But that's amazing. And then all those partners donate their time and space.
They donate their space
to let you guys do that here.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're out of time, but tell folks how they can find you guys or how they can go ahead and start to think about scheduling in January.
The best way is our website, which is taxprepfree.net, or you can call the appointment line at
386-313-4048.
That is awesome. I am so excited you guys are here. I'm going to have you come back in the spring when you get finished with the taxes and give us an update on how it went.
That'd be great.
Awesome. So we do want to thank WNZF News Radio, Flagler News Weekly, the Vigilante Philanthropists, Massage by Natalie and Company, and also the Benjamin Moore Paint Store here in Palm Coast for sponsoring our show. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.